Hi, this is Mark Wade from CenterCityCondos.com at Berkshire Hathaway, Fox and Roach Realtors, CenterCityCondos.com. In this podcast, I'm going to lather on and on about one of my favorite buildings in town, 2301 Cherry Street. I like it for a number of reasons, but if I had to explain it in 10 words or less, it would be value in a kick-ass location with parking. That's the brunt of it all. 19103, you're close to the Schuylkill River jogging trail. You're close to UO Penn. You're close to Trader Joe's. You know, it's a quiet little niche in that little area there in Center City. To the north, there's vacant parking lots as far as the eye can see. Give it 10 years, and those will all be beautiful, brand new high rises. I guarantee it. So 2301 Cherry, you're going to have to call me because this podcast could go on for about 2 hours, I think. There are two sections to the building. There's the low-rise section that kind of plays like stacked townhouse kind of condominiums, and you've got the high-rise section. All the units that I've ever seen in this building have stairs. There's no such thing as a flat, because even on the one bedrooms, you walk in and there's a half flight up and a half flight down, or there's a half flight down and another half flight down. The stairs are not too onerous. They're very comfortable, and there's just you'll never see more than 6 stairs at a time in the high-rise section. Everything's on a half level. A lot of the units in the high-rise section face the river. Some of them are fantastic views. Almost all of them have outside space. The building has recently become more pet-friendly. There are some limitations, but they now allow dogs. Every unit has parking. Some units have 2-car parking. And what's interesting is that, in my opinion, the values here had been suppressed for a long time because the building, there was a structural engineer's report that landed on my desk some 8 or 9 years ago, and a note from the president of the association basically saying, here's how I interpret it. The letter said, hey, owners, we've kind of neglected the building. Now it's time to pay up. And that's what they've been doing. They had collected assessments and been doing some major work, because the reality is, you've got to spend money in order to retain your value, because buildings that just fall apart, their values go with that. So the people at River's Edge got together, looked at the structural engineer's report, started putting money back into the building where it needed to be, and it blew values up. I still think it's one of the best values in Center City, even with the recent improvement in demand and the escalation of prices in the building. I still think it's one of the best. There's a common roof deck up on top, which is just phenomenal, although everyone pretty much has their own outside space anyway. I think the building's very well managed. The closet space is good. The kitchens are a nice size. The bedrooms are adequate. The bathrooms are large. Storage is just phenomenal in most of these units. Let's see. I'm going to try to... What else can I tell you about this? A lot of people appreciate the fact that it is very close to the Schuylkill River jogging trail. That's a huge plus. What else can I tell you? Doorman building. Everybody's got parking. Dog and cat friendly. I just rate, when every year I go through and I rate my 10 favorite buildings in town, not necessarily favorite, but the best buildings in town, based upon what I believe to be value, retention, and livability. And this building is always on that list, or not. It's just one off, because again, I think it's very strong in terms of location, value, retention, livability, amenities. All that kind of stuff. And I think it's a strong condo association that they've wisely put money where money needed to be. There are only 96 units in the building, and what we'll find is the mix of units. We don't find a lot of studios or small one bedrooms. Most of the one bedrooms in the building, range about 850, 900 square feet, maybe 750, 850, closer to 900. And the 2 bedrooms have a tendency to stretch out to about 1,600 square feet and larger. So that's it. If you can find a unit there, values are going to be heavily contingent upon interior condition, because any building that's 30, 40, 50 years old, we're going to find varying levels of condition when units come on the market. We're going to find some original condition units, and then we're going to find one that's just knocked out gorgeous. So values are going to be contingent upon interior condition as well as floor height and view. But this is it's a strong value. Gosh, I'm just lathering on and on here. Anyway, River's Edge, I like the building. I think it's tough to go wrong there. And what we're seeing is if you really look real deep into public records and to the MLS, you'll find that maybe 8 or 9 years ago, the units would sit on the market significantly longer than they sit today. The average DOM, days on market, clock for units in this building has shrunk substantially over the past decade. And I think that's important because it goes back to the solidity of the condominium building, the demand and value. So anyway, I'm kind of saying the same thing over and over again. And what I'm saying at the end of the day is that if you see a unit here, consider it. Because it's probably going to be a very good value. And that's about it. Mark Wade, CenterCityCondos.com, at Berkshire Hathaway, Fox and Roach Realtors. Questions, comments, or concerns, you pick up the telephone, you push the buttons on the front of it, 215-521-1523. I'm happy to talk to you further about River's Edge and the possibilities there at River's Edge. Thank you.